My name is Laurie and I have been coming to Life Church for probably about 14 years. And I've had a lot of struggle with finances over the years. For as long as I can remember, money has been a huge problem and a huge stress in my life. Like, I've lived paycheck to paycheck for years and years and years, and just never knew when money was going to come in or bills were going to get paid. And so it's been a lot of stress. Several years ago, I started tithing, but it was more of whenever I had the money. When I felt like I had enough money, like paychecks were good or we just had some abundance, then, I would give. And I didn't really think about, making sure to get 10% out of it. It was just kind of, well, I can give this week. And then when times were hard, then I wouldn't give. And I thought, and I had people tell me, but I also thought, since I volunteered in kids' church, that that would be okay. That would be enough for those weeks that we couldn't give financially. And I noticed over those years and kind of the up and down that when I would give regularly and try to give that 10% on a regular basis, then I would notice that times were kind of more stress-free. It was easier to pay bills, and then we'd get to the point where we'd get to a struggle, and I would say, well, okay, we can't tithe this week, I can't give any money, and then it would go weeks and weeks, and then I would realize that money was super stressful again, and we would start to wonder how we were going to pay bills, and then I'd go back to tithing again when I felt like we got in a better spot, and then times would be good. So we kind of did that up and down struggle for a while. And then I went through a divorce, and I lost my job because it was a part-time job, and they knew I was looking for a full-time job. So now I had a mortgage and all my bills and 3 kids and no job. But I decided during that time that I wanted to tithe and give my 10% and make sure I gave it all the time. So everything that came in, every income that came in, I made sure, even if it was only $5, even if the 10% was $5, I gave. And I made sure, and I set that aside to give. When I started doing that, I mean, there's been a lot of instances, but I really noticed a difference. Money would come in that I wasn't expecting, money from a paycheck, or maybe friends that knew I was struggling that just wanted to help out. But I was taken care of, and it wasn't that I didn't have, things weren't late anymore, or I wasn't, the money was just always there on time and always there to pay, but it was just that I was taken care of. I saw miracles happen, that when I really was stressed and struggling, that something would come in that I didn't expect. And so the more and more I saw those things, I started realizing that I didn't have to worry anymore if the money was going to be there, if God was going to take care of me. And so for a year, I had no job, and for probably a year and a half, I had a part-time job, and God always came through for me. I don't worry about my finances anymore, and knowing that God's going to come through for you just gives you so much freedom, and so much, you don't have to worry anymore about if you're going to get taken care of. So I feel like there's no reason why I should be sitting here today with like a $1,200 mortgage that is current and paid, and bills that are paid. I got all of my bills paid off during this time, so I only have my major bills like my mortgage and my student loans. Everything else, every other debt I have is paid, and I now have savings, and all of this with very, very little income. I now am student teaching, so I don't get paid, so I'm back to literally having no income, and I feel like I shouldn't have a house anymore. We shouldn't have lived so well, and to me that's a miracle. In my life, that's a miracle. And what I want you guys to understand is tithing works. Test it, it works. It gives you so much freedom. And now I'm able to even give above and beyond. I've stretched myself, and Now that I've tithed for so long, I'm stretching myself to give more, to give to missions, and to just help somebody, even if it's a stranger or even if it's somebody I know, help somebody else. And it's just so much freedom to be set free from worrying about finances.